First of all, congratulations. You now have the NBA record for the most triple doubles for a career. I'm sure you knew this day was coming, but what was it like to finally break that record?
Man, it's just a blessing, man. You put so much into the game, you put so much time, you sacrifice so much to put into the game, and to be able to just be mentioned with guys like Oscar and Magic and Jason Kidd and those guys is just something that I never would have dreamed about as a young kid growing up in LA. And I'm truly grateful for moments like this and something that I should. Normally I don't like to pat myself on the back, but tonight I will, just because I'm so grateful for the ones before me, and so blessed and thankful for the man above for allowing me to go out and do what I do. And I take this job very seriously, and I'm super grateful for all my teammates and coaches along my journey thus far. And special thanks to my family because they sacrifice so much of their time and energy away from me to allow me to do some of the things I'm able to do. My wife, my kids, my mom, my dad, my brother, the sacrifices they have done is don't go unnoticed. And I'm just grateful for so many people. The list can go on, but I'm just appreciative of moments like this.
And Jason Kidd's among those who said that this record would never be broken. At what point did it cross your mind, hey, I might actually be able to catch Oscar?
I never really thought about it, honestly. I just kind of go out and play. And every night I try to do things that people said it can't be done or you can't do it. And my motto is, why not? And that's how I live. And that's how I think. And each and every time I step on the floor, I try to do things that people said I can or can't do, over the years, and proving people wrong, and going out every night and competing and doing that at a high level.
Hey, Russ. Not sure it's so short after the game. I'm not sure if you've been able to absorb any of the reaction to you breaking the record, but so many great players have said so many things about you. Allen Iverson tweeted about how impressive it was, and you constantly talk about how much you respect the previous generations. I mean, getting that respect from all of these Hall of Famers from previous generations, what's that feel like?
It's a blessing, man. You as a player in this league, and to make it in this league, it's one thing, but to be in this league and consistently do great things and try to do great things, it's tough to do. And the ones before me understand what that's like, understand what that entails, understand the sacrifices, understanding the time and energy it takes to be great. Guys like AI and Oscar, Magic, like I said, the list can go on. Understanding and being grateful. Like I said the other day, I'm super grateful for, especially for Oscar, because he paved the way for guys like myself. He endured different things back in the time where he was playing, where he was able to do that and still be effective on the floor. And not just that, he changed the game for guys like myself, guys that's in this league today, and to be able to pass him. And I just want to thank him because without him and the things he able to do for the game, I probably wouldn't be doing some of the things I'm able to do now without his sacrifice and the things he did for the game as well.
And you've also had 15 plus assists in 5 straight games. Has anything opened up for you passing wise to allow those numbers just to jump to that degree?
Honestly, just playing. And I humbly say this, but like I said last week, I'm the best playmaker in this league. And I know that in my mind, and I do that every night. I know it seems normal, and that seems normal, and at least from my point of view. But it's not, man. I take a lot of pride in finding ways to make my teammates effective, make the game easy for them, and just keep going. Hopefully, unfortunately, we couldn't get the win today, but get ready for the next game and see how I can continue to make my teammates better.
Thanks, Russ.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Focus TV. As you guys seen, pretty sure everybody's aware by now. Congratulations once again to Russell Westbrook for becoming the NBA's all-time triple-double leader. So it was great to hear from him. We talked about this the last couple nights on Wizards Outlook already. That said, we got a lot to get through tonight. Ray's going to talk about his Wizards. We're going to get to a couple other things as well. WNBA, the regular season officially takes off on Friday. I'm sorry, Ray, please forgive me. But as always, man, we're joined by Xavier Wyatt, Cardell Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Sarpay Jr. Shout out to our guy Rodney as well for doing what it is that he does. That said, Xavier, before we get to Ray, just want to ask you real quick, because we've all voiced what we thought about Russ passing Oscar. What you thought about it?
I mean, I feel like it's self-explanatory. Just the fact that like nobody has done this since Oscar Robertson or anywhere near him is just an incredible feat that he was able to reach, especially with all of the criticism he's taken over the years of his career, being a selfish player or whatever you want to call it. For him to be able to do something like this shows that he's one of the most well-rounded players in the game. And to me, nobody deserves it more because I feel like he's one of the hardest working players on and off the court, but especially on the court because you can see like he never stops. For a point guard to average double-digit rebounds speaks a lot because most of the times point guards aren't down there getting rebounds. They're already halfway down the court once the ball hits the rim. So it just speaks to the type of player he is, the type of work ethic he has, and I don't see anybody else better deserving than him.
All right. That said, Ray, let everybody know the latest on what's happening with the Washington Wizards.
All right. They fell to Atlanta last night, 125-124. Russell Westbrook missed the last second 3-point shot, game winner. But it's a tightly contested game. Of course, they were going at it without Bradley Beal. So that's about 31 points you got to get from somewhere else. And, their others, they were up to task. Neto, Rui, Robin Lopez, they all kind of filled in the gap and they played well for the most part. They had a little lapse in the third quarter on the defensive end that allowed Atlanta to kind of stretch the lead out. And that pretty much decided the game. The Wizards, they fought back. They cut the lead down to 1 a few times, but they just couldn't get over the hump. And, they ultimately fell by 1 point. But yeah, man, just getting back to Russ, of course, he made history last night, getting the triple-double record. I think we really need to put into perspective what he's been able to do throughout his career. These are things like Octavia said, nobody has even sniffed since Oscar Robertson. The first was averaging a triple-double for a season. Oscar Robertson was the only person to do it. And then, Russ did it that first season, got the MVP, and then followed it up with 3 more seasons averaging a triple-double, and, it's a shame that people really try to minimize that accomplishment to stat padding. Like if that's your take from it, then I don't think you deserve to be able to watch basketball because, again, it's extremely hard to average 10, 10, and 10 for a season. This man is averaging 30, 10, and 10. So, man, just give credit where it's due, and to hear players like Magic Johnson and Jason Kidd, guys who before now we thought, got triple doubles at a high rate, talk about how that record was never going to be touched, then to see Russell Westbrook be able to come in here and do something that was thought to be impossible. The only thing that should be going on right now is giving props, people. But of course, in this era we in, if you don't fit a certain narrative, if you don't do things that fans expect you to do or want you to do, then they try to poke holes in every single accomplishment. But again, like Octavia said, I don't think there's a more deserving player than Russ. He's had some ups and downs in his career. He's been criticized, but I think where the thing I most appreciate about him is he never makes excuses. He accepts, when he's at fault, he takes it on his chin. He comes back and works hard and tries to correct things. That's all you can ask from a professional, man. And for a guy to come in here and do his job at the maximum ability every single night and then be able to etch his name in the history books. Like, man, I don't know how he feels about it. And, you know, looking at the interview, I can tell he was fighting with being happy about it because they didn't get the win, you know, but I think once he sits down and kind of collects himself, he's going to be really, really glad about this if he's not already. But, you know, that's just who that guy is, man. He's a winner. The only thing that matters to him is winning. But he just happens to be able to accumulate numbers like nobody else. And, you know, on top of that, the numbers do lead to winning because he's been to the finals, been to the Western Conference Finals. He's lived in the playoffs for pretty much his entire career. So, I mean, it's not much you can say to criticize that man. So, yeah, just props to him, man. You know, and I know we talked about it the other night. What's crazy is by the time it's all said and done, he's going to be well into the 200s for triple doubles. So yeah, man, props to Russ, and you know, much success to him, and hopefully they could you know, Wiz can end this season on a high note.
All right, Ricardo, did you have anything you wanted to add? I know we pretty much talked about on Wizards Outlook, but
yeah, just
give me the floor.
Just something real quick. I don't think nobody's really touched it on. The one thing I respect about what Russ has done, and he keeps mentioning, that's going over a lot of people's head, is his respect for the greats of the game. You know, we all know it's become popular just to shit on the legends and stuff, but you can tell he's fully aware what Oscar Robertson went through when he, you know, the circumstances of those guys in the 60s, the 50s, you know, way back when, during the Civil Rights era, what they had to go through to perform on the court. And like he kept saying is he probably wouldn't be able to do what he's doing without, you know, the sacrifices that Oscar did, you know, fighting for free agency, fighting for just the basic rights that you know, these players today seem like take for granted. Once upon a time, a lot of players didn't have that, you know what I mean? So I just appreciate that he appreciates the legends of the game, because I just feel like a lot of players today they don't do it enough, man. And and they wonder why the older generation kind of fire back from time to time, because I don't care how mature you are, you get tired of being disrespected at some point. And the disrespect isn't warranted for the legends of the game. You know, they built it. You know, anybody coming along now, you just eating off what they built. So you should always pay homage to, you know, the greats of yesterday.
Yeah, the only thing I got to add is, you know, that motor he's had since he hit the league, it hasn't dwindled in the least bit to now. And I appreciate him for that. That's the one thing, you know, with him, you never have to worry about in the era where far too often you have to worry about it for a lot of folks. Is one thing, you know, it's inside the box already. You never have to worry about that with Russ. So truly appreciate that from him. All right, look, we told you guys the WNBA does begin like literally like this week. Things start on Friday. It's the 25th year of the W, so I'm very excited about that. I'm sure we all are as well. Implore anyone who's watching who hasn't been in following the WNBA in the past. It's a great time to get on board, great time to get into it. Just like we have Wizards Outlook, we already started Mystics Outlook, so that's going to happen. Final conclusion of every game this year. Also be covering them as usual. So definitely stay up with us on social for all that good stuff. Just to let you guys know who's going to be kicking things off on Friday night. There's 4 games. The last preseason game of the schedule was tonight. That's between the Fever and Sky. But as far as the regular season, starting Friday night, we have the Indiana Fever at the New York Liberty, Connecticut Sun at the Atlanta Dream, Phoenix Mercury taking on the Minnesota Lynx, and the Dallas Wings taking on the Los Angeles Sparks. Saturday's slate that features, the Mystics will be opening. They'll be starting their season at home at the ESA. They'll be hosting the Chicago Sky on Saturday. I believe that starts at 1. And then the Storm will be hosting the Aces. So obviously, I know we're going to talk about the Mystics just a little bit with those games that I mentioned already. If you just want to ask you guys what you guys are looking to, at least out of opening night, opening weekend, if you will.
The rookie class. I want to see how they kind of, transition to the WNBA coming off the tournament run. They have a preseason, but it's not long like the NBA normally is. You know what I mean? So their transition is fairly quick, and then the learning curve is a lot. In a short period of time. So, I want to see how they handle all that, and understand what the WNBA is all about. You know what I mean? Like we talk about it all the time. I really don't think a lot of people understand how physical the WNBA is. It's totally different. Even being there on the preseason game when the Mystics played at Atlanta, played the Dream, bodies were getting tossed around there. Especially, it was both coaches said it was just an ugly game because people fighting for roster spots. No one knows anybody. Everything is new. Especially like the Dream, their damn coach left like 2 days prior. So, they everything was new for them, for the coach on down. So, that physicality is, I think Gilbert Arenas said it is 80s, 90s NBA basketball, but it's the lady, and people don't really understand it because they look at the WNBA and might just see female. I'm like, nah, it's crazy physical, man. So that's an adjustment on its own because college is not like that. And on top of that, college, I understand, but you're still dealing with it. You're dealing with females emerging into grown women. Even some freshmen are still in girl mode. They're not really physically all the way there in full woman mode. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the WNBA grown women, grown ass women. So they're not gonna have that, man. You know what I mean? So I want to see that transition from a lot of these rookies, man. And see who's able to adapt the quickest and help their team.
All right, Ray and then Octavia, just what you guys are looking forward to this week.
Of course we're supporters of all things Mystics around here, but two teams I'm really excited to see this season is Chicago and Vegas. Vegas, they've been on the cusp the last couple years, and they got some new things to play with down there. And Bill Laimbeer, we already know how he rolled. We know how he rolled as a player, and his attitude is the same as a coach. So of course, A'ja Wilson coming off her MVP season. I just want to see where she elevates her game to, and how she meshes with the new additions. And also praise up to Angel McCoughtry, man. She just suffered another season-ending injury, tore her ACL and her meniscus. So definitely wish a speedy and full recovery to her. And from Chicago, man, big story is Candace Parker coming home. And they were looking pretty scary last year, even without everything at their disposal. Diamond had a pretty up and down year as far as injuries go, but they said she's back to full health, and they just a gritty, experienced, hard team to play, man, and with another team with championship aspirations. So yeah, I'm definitely ready to see those two teams rumble.
Octavia.
And to be honest, what both of you guys said are the two things that I'm really looking forward to the most, is basically really seeing all the players transition from college to the league, because like you said, it's a short preseason. The March Madness just ended a month ago, so they have a very, very quick turnaround of trying to get the mindset of being a professional basketball player in the WNBA. So I'm really interested to see who hits the learning curve faster, who gets a little bit settled quicker, and who's able to really, really contribute to their team, who's really going to have opportunities to contribute to their teams. And definitely the other thing that I was looking forward to was the Las Vegas Aces. And to hear about the injury to Angel McCoughtry again, of course, coming off of the knee injury she had previously, and that was in her left knee, and now it's her right knee. Being a former player, I know so many females who have had injuries in their knees, and it's always both. It's crazy where you'll get an injury in your left knee, and then a couple years later it'll be the right knee. So definitely prayers up to her. I really was hoping to see how they would bounce back again this year. And number one on the list, of course, is to see the Mystics, I feel like really defend their title. Yes, I know that they did not win last year, but I still feel like they still have the title, that they should still be defending it. So it's just to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, I'm with you all. Can't wait to see all the new rookies. And just like Chicago's so scary to me, we've been talking over the past couple seasons. James Wade is outstanding as a coach and just got to hold Candace Parker to that stuff that they already have over there. That's really scary. Chelsea Gray with the Aces now, as you all said, already mentioned, about Angel McCarthy. Obviously, prayers up to her. Cardell was raving about the Dream for good reason during preseason after seeing him up close. That's going to be an annoying team. It's going to be a fun WNBA season. So many teams that were the folks that were missing people last year going into the bubble, the players that grew through their time during the bubble, and then kind of have to watch them get reacclimated to the folks that are coming back, to those who kind of maybe grew into new roles. It's going to be fun, man. And what we do know for sure is it's going to be wire-to-wire excitement, and we urge you all to definitely check it out. Like I said, I can't wait for Friday night and definitely can't wait for Saturday. I'm definitely happy that the season is finally here. Did y'all have anything else you wanted to add as far as the WNBA goes?
Yes, sir.
All right, with that said, we're gonna move to our first break. You're watching the Focus TV. We will be right back. Real quick message from our partners over at Oohs and Ahs. Some of the best soul food in the city, get over to Oohs and Ahs Soul Food Restaurant. There's 2 locations, one at Georgia Avenue, the other on U Street. Order online today. Dine-in is available at the Georgia Avenue location. You're free to order from online from both. And again, that's oohsandahs.com, OOHS and AAHS.com. All right, well, welcome back to the Focus TV. Already talked a little bit about Russell Westbrook's historic milestone. The Wizards, as of late, they'll be taking on the Hawks tomorrow night, so that another very important game for them is the standings. There's a lot weighing on those games. We're looking forward to the Mystics this week and to the WNBA as a whole. Some DC United news. They fell to the Columbus Crew this past weekend 3-1. Lucas Zelarayan scored a gorgeous goal on a free kick. Unfortunately for DC United, they would concede 2 own goals. The first came in the 63rd minute when Santos fired a shot in their post. Chris Seitz, the current keeper, he blocked the shot, but he blocked it inside instead of outwards. And when he blocked it inside, it bounced off Fred Briand's chest into the goal. After the game, Briand talked about that moment, called it a misunderstanding, which was very kind on his part between him and Seitz. The second one came a minute after DC United scored to make it a 1-goal game. So in the 83rd minute, Zelarayan gets down on the left side. He plays the ball to the near post. Briand gets a foot on it, and the ball goes past the keeper into the near post before Alfaro could clear it. So Briand, what he was trying to do was he was between the man that Zelarayan was trying to pass to and the goalie, and it took a bad bounce. And, when stuff's not going your way, not how it is in sports, sometimes it's hard to turn that around when things are going the wrong way. But a little bit earlier, DC United, in terms of a positive, Ola Kamara played in the second half of this game. He got his first goal of the season. Addison Flores played a very clever ball to Ola, who calmly beat the keeper. Still, it was kind of much of the same for DC United. They have to do a better job capitalizing in the final third. As far as some more good news, Paul Areola, who's been rehabbing from an injury, he's begun training with the team, so he practiced yesterday and today. Homegrown youngster Kevin Paredes, he also joined training. Health has played a very big role here. But Coach Hernan Losada talked today about how proud he's been of the guys who've had to step up early in the season to fill in for those that have been injured. There's a lot of guys stepping in that were kind of they were brought here to literally be depth, and they've been ushered into starting roles, and everybody's trying to do the best they can. That said, they got a big week. So coming off the 3-game road trip, they went 0-3 on the road trip. They're 1-3 on the year. They got 2 games this week with a chance to get them, 2 wins, get you back to 500. They host Chicago on Thursday at Audi, and then Orlando on Sunday. So I'll let you know how things go next week. As far as the Pitts League goes, they were off last week, so we'll have updates. Octavia and I will have updates for you next week because there's games happening tonight and Thursday. So again, if you're over on Instagram, just head over to the Pitts League, all one word. If you don't want to wait till next week, we're still going to provide you with the recap next week to know what's happening tonight. We're going to get to the 9-4-50 breakdown, courtesy of Jamal Hayward. When we get back, we're going to have some fun, some fun with rapid fire as always. This week, Jamal Hayward is breaking down scoring options off same hand, same foot, stop, punch, dribble. Again, scoring options off same hand, same foot, stop, punch, dribble. And we'll see you guys right after the break.
Some scoring options off the same hand, same foot stop. So this is an example of the same hand, same foot stop. I'm in a lunge position, stop with my right hand, stopping with my right foot. Same thing with my left hand and my left foot. So that's an example of the same hand, same foot finish. Stop. So we're gonna go ahead and show some options off of that. Right into jump shots. This will be useful for guards, also useful for wings. Some centers that are mobile and are comfortable on the perimeter can utilize as well also. So I'm gonna start with my right hand, gonna start going to my right. So going to my right, same hand, same foot stop, okay? I'm in a lunge position, my left foot is back, my right foot is forward. Now, normally if I have someone guarding me here in front of me and I make that same stop here, I'm ripping fast, going to the right, as long as you do it correctly, the defense is gonna run past you. Now, with them running past you, here's option number 1, okay? So they're running past you with the same foot stop, now they're gonna be in recovery mode, okay? So the first option is a quick pickup, okay? So the quick pickup, I'm gonna go with my left foot forward, okay? Aggressively, violently, okay? As if I was going to the basket, but I'm really not going to the basket. The normal motion right here for going to the basket to the left is this. Layup, okay? I want to sell that whole body movement as if I really want to go to the basket. So here it is. Option number 1. So, with me selling that movement, I'm here, okay? I'm here, right into a fast pickup, okay? Next option, adding a hezzy pull-up, okay? So, same thing with the same foot, same hand stop. Now I'm adding a hezzy pull-up. A hezzy pull-up is normally to sell like you're going to the basket, but you're shooting a jump shot. So, I'm going to my right here. My normal motion going to the basket, if I'm going to the right, is here after that stop. So I'm going to sell that whole movement. That's option number 2. Today we're going to break down some scoring options off the same hand, same foot stop. So this is an example of the same hand, same foot stop. I'm in a lunge position, stopping with my right hand, stopping with my right foot. Same thing with my left hand and my left foot. So that's an example of the same hand, same foot finish. Stop. So we're gonna go ahead and show some options off of that. Right into jump shots. This will be useful for guards, also useful for wings. Some centers that are mobile and are comfortable on the perimeter can utilize as well also. So we're gonna gonna start with my right hand, it's gonna start going to my right. So, going to my right, same hand, same foot, stop, okay? So I'm in a lunge position, my left foot is back, my right foot is forward. Now, normally if I have someone guarding me here in front of me, and I make that same stop here, after ripping fast, going to the right, as long as you do it correctly, the defense is gonna run past you. Now, with them running past you, here's option number one, okay? So them running past you with the same foot stop, now they're gonna be in recovery mode, okay? So the first option is a quick pickup, okay? So the quick pickup, I'm gonna go with my left foot forward, okay? Aggressively, violently, okay? As if I was going to the basket, but I'm really not going to the basket. The normal motion right here for going to the basket to the left is this. Layup, okay? I want to sell that whole body movement as if I really want to go to the basket. So here it is. Option number one. So, with me selling that movement, I'm here, okay? I'm here, right into a fast pickup, okay? Next option, adding a hezzy pull-up, okay? So, same thing with the same foot, same hand stop. Now I'm adding a hezzy pull-up. A hezzy pull-up is normally to sell like you're going to the basket, but you're shooting a jump shot. So, I'm going to my right here. My normal motion going to the basket, if I'm going to the right, is here. After that stop. So I'm gonna sell that whole movement. That's option number two.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. And again, special thanks to Jamal Hayward for knocking out the 9-4-50 breakdown each and every week. Cardell, the floor is yours, sir, as we had the rapid fire.
All right. First up, the Jaguars are planning to sign Tim Tebow, who will be trying for a second act in the NFL as their tight end. The deal is not done yet, so the signing may not officially take place until after the team hosts its minicamp this weekend. Tebow last appeared in the NFL as a member of the Jets during the 2012 season and played baseball in the Mets organization from 2016 to 2019. He worked out for the Jaguars recently, and the team's chief football strategy officer, Tony Khan, said that head coach Urban Meyer really believes Tebow can help us. Just what are your thoughts on this signing? I know y'all have some. We're gonna start with one of his biggest fans, who I'm pretty sure wanted to be quarterback for her team. I'll take it.
Didn't he used to be quarterback for your team?
Hey, he did his job. He got my Hey, we still want to play.
I wish I would have got him up out of there way further. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, of course, I haven't seen any tape, so I don't know what he looks like. But at this point, like, why? Like, they asked you to do this eons ago. You knew more than they knew and was like, no, I'm going to be a quarterback. And obviously that didn't work out. Now you're a tight end. If he likes it, I love it, whatever. I don't really care either way, but it's another thing too, just showing like it's about who you know sometimes too, because I can't see him calling any other team up asking for this situation to happen and them actually saying, oh, okay, maybe. But I just think it's crazy. He just play baseball, continue to do your college game day announcing or whatever he was doing. I do not want to see Tim Tebow back in the league, but who am I? I won't be watching that many Jaguar games. Well, I might, depending on how Trevor Lawrence looks, but yeah.
Tebow gonna be a target, man. Raymond.
Man, look here. Just let me know where they selling this white privilege at, so I can go buy some. Like, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen, man. Like a third, what was he, 34 now? And he hasn't played football in 8 years. And Urban Meyer got up in front of people and said, "I really believe he can help." Dog, just now you calling us stupid. Just say you're doing the man a favor. Like, don't insult our intelligence, dude. I mean, but like Octavia said, I don't really care one way or another. You know, but it's quite comical to me. Yeah, good luck, dude. Hope for the best.
Go ahead, Wilson. You got that petty look on your face. Go ahead.
You do though, and I'm waiting for it.
Well, I apologize for disappointing you all. This is why, Jaguars fans, I've been laughing since you hired Urban Meyer. I figured this was going to happen in some shape, fashion, or form, that he was going to find your way. He's going to find his way onto that staff. He did one better. He might be on the field. Trevor Lawrence, I'm sorry that you're taking a step down from Clemson to the Jaguars. That's tough. Wish you the best. Look, man, there's nothing. It's just a joke, man. Like, it's tough. It is right now. All like we're talking about what the tight end position is currently, modern, like right now. How do you even like find a way to explain this? And then, which I guess I wish I could say was surprising, I'm laughing watching the people try to do, I mean, like Biles level mental gymnastics to make this make sense. And I'm just gonna sit back and I wish you all the best. Just know it y'all are like 1 degree off of falling, and just that's it, because it just doesn't make. This is not worth jumping out there for in the least bit. You could have just added that man to your staff, like you're probably gonna do after it's proven that he can't play. So we could have just skipped this part. Like, just hand him a team issue polo, welcome him to the staff, give him a position that he's really not gonna coach, and we can all just go on and enjoy our lives, man. But man, just if you're a fan of a bad team, just remember it could always be worse. We have Urban out here trying to tell you that Tebow is part of your tight end room. Like,
don't draft Tebow in your fantasy leagues. I'm telling you now, don't do it. Somebody gonna do it. Somebody gonna do it.
Somebody is.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Tebow."
Hey, look, I tell you, they're gonna be there in the draft. Like, just watch, it's a steal. I guarantee you.
Nobody ever gonna think Tebow. I'm gonna get Tebow. I'm sorry. I always cry when I'm laughing.
I just, it's disrespectful to a lot of players that are fighting for a roster spot, especially at that position. It's they that have been putting in consistent work, and this dude pretty much got in the door just off some type of privilege and relationship that he had with the head coach. It's also, I mean, we can bring up the Kaepernick thing. We all know what that was, man. It further proves what that was. And and me personally, it just makes it hard to really just embrace the NFL like I once did, because they're the blatant. It's not even subliminal no more. It's like, yeah, we racist, so what? Y'all gonna still watch us and support us? What y'all gonna do? And that's what it is, man. Because I no doubt, fine, will Urban Meyer have done this to a black player? I can't see that happening, man. It's so many ways we can go with this, man. And by all accounts, I don't know, homie. Tim Tebow, by all accounts, is a good dude or whatever, but he's gotten a lot of opportunities a lot of people wouldn't have gotten. And honestly, frankly, he don't deserve it. All right, you are an all-time great college quarterback, fine. You flamed out as a quarterback in the NFL. You literally have not played in 8 or 9 years? You don't play football. but now you can walk on and take one of 53 jobs and be a tight end. And I'm not even the type to root for like athletes like that. Like if it was something authentic where he was working, he just kept getting cut, like he's kind of been in the mix, but now, he's fighting and he finally get opportunity. I'd be happy for him. It's you came up. You see what I'm saying? And I don't wish for nobody's downfall, but this is just it's just disrespectful, man. Because now somebody who really deserves an opportunity in Urban Meyer should be looking at hard will get cut just in favor of this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I hope Trevor Lawrence don't go down because then, oh man, you already know what the buzz gonna be about then. You already know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, we already know what's gonna happen. We're gonna wake up one day. Should he get an opportunity to be quarterback again? And there you go. So I pray he don't go down. Y'all think I'm playing? Okay. Don't let Trevor Lawrence go down.
I believe
I'm thinking of this perfect tweet somebody had, but I ain't trying to share it on air because it's insensitive stuff. I'll share it with y'all later. But yeah.
This is crazy, man. But moving on, Michael Jordan, he said Kobe Bryant was maybe even tougher than I was. Jordan, who was obviously Kobe's mentor, will be inducting him into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame on Saturday. And according to his conversation he had with ESPN's Jackie McMullen, Jordan acknowledged a lot of the similarities between him and Kobe, but his comments regarding how mentally tough Kobe is raised eyebrows. Jordan said his style of play was identical to mine. He stayed true to his course, and I respect that. He was a mentally tough kid, maybe even tougher than I was. Remember, the people who follow me, my fans, didn't like that he was trying to copy what I had done. To put a little context in before people run off with it, Jordan was talking about the expectations of Kobe coming into the league at 17, 18 years old and being compared to him, the greatest of all time. Jordan didn't have those expectations coming in, and he came in a few years older, more mature from college and whatnot. So he didn't have to face the same type of battles that Kobe did. You know what I mean? So yeah, Kobe had to be more ready in the sense at a younger age, which means he had to be mentally tough, man. Especially the first few years when he really wasn't playing a lot. You know what I mean? So, and for a guy that competitive and that driven, that obviously they hate at him, man. But just what are your thoughts on what Mike said, about the late Kobe Bryant? As far as, his mental toughness and possibly, he may have been even tougher than him. We're going to start with you, Raymond.
I mean, it's honestly not a surprise to hear that, because we've all heard the stories. We've all, heard firsthand accounts of Kobe's work ethic, how he approached the game, and even hearing him himself speak on it. So, and yeah, your analysis made sense. Kobe came in. First of all, he put that pressure on himself before anybody even had the opportunity to. And, people don't like that. You got a 18-year-old kid talking about he's hopes to be the best player in the league. People want to take exceptions to that, especially, with how Michael Jordan is regarded, in the basketball world. Like it's kind of a how dare you think you can even get to that level, and and he continuously put in work. He fell a little short of overtaking Michael or what have you, but still for him to set the bar that high for himself and continuously work until until it was all said and done to try to reach that level, is nothing you can do but respect it, man. Like that's a tough deal. Like we've seen people crack under way less pressure than that, and people kind of talk about the expectations that LeBron had coming into the league, which is sort of a similar situation, but I don't think Kobe is viewed in that same light because but just because of how he came in, like he had Shaq as a teammate or what have you. But, you've heard Shaq say Kobe challenged him from day one. Imagine an 18-year-old coming into the league and being demanding of Shaq, like especially that Shaq. When he was just a monster and destroying everything. So yeah, I could see that being a possibility that Kobe was a little mentally tougher than Mike. And Michael Jordan would not say that if he didn't truly believe it, because we know the type of person Michael Jordan is. We know how competitive he is. So yeah, for him to even come out his mouth and say that just says everything to me. And it just shows how tough Kobe was and how much of a competitor he was.
All right, Wilson.
Yeah, if that's what Mike said, I'm gonna roll with it. It's not like compliments come flowing out that man's mouth easily. And when talk about comps and things like that, we all know how he felt about Kobe. There's no surprise there. And yeah, I think that, like Ray mentioned, that is one of the parts when people do talk about Kobe. I think sometimes it gets overlooked is, that like, let's say like the first 3 years of it's not like it was and hit the ground running immediately. So yeah, I definitely have no issue with it. Looking forward to seeing what else Mike's gonna say. What is it this weekend?
Yes.
And yeah, but nah, I'm definitely I'm definitely on board with it. I have nothing in opposition of that man's statement.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm with Wilson. Like, if Michael Jordan said it, it's true. Like, I have there's nothing I could say to dispute what he's saying, because he is, if not arguably to some people, the greatest player to play the game. So if he's saying it, it's true. It has to be, because he knows what it looks like. He knows what it feels like. He knows he's been in that situation. So is nobody better to tell me something like that but him. There's no way I would question it at all. So if he said it, that's what it is. And I'm rolling with it.
All right, moving on. Celtics dealt a heavy blow. Jaylen Brown is out for the rest of the season with a wrist injury. This past weekend, the Celtics forward Jaylen Brown, he was diagnosed with a torn ligament in his left wrist. Brown is expected to have surgery later this week and will be out the remainder of the 2020-2021 season. Obviously, the Celtics have been up and down all season, and to lose Jaylen Brown right on the verge, on the eve of the playoffs, is a tough blow, man. So what do you think this means for the Celtics playoff hopes with Brown going down? Wilson.
It just got tough, man. Like super, super tough. It's been that dynamic duo with those two, leading the way for those guys. And I know for some people, Tatum's got most of the shine. To me, I don't think you could bring one up without bringing up the other for what they do. And man, Tatum's gonna feel it if he hasn't started feeling it already. He's gonna feel not having that other guy out there. Like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt Boston tremendously on both ends of the floor, too. So I mean, that's a huge blow to them. Like heading into the playoffs, it changes a lot for them.
All right, Octavia.
I hate to say it because I like the Celtics. That's like my quote unquote East Coast team. Like I like them, but I don't think they're gonna do nothing now. It's been too up and down for them. They've had too many injuries going back and forth between it's Jaylen out, it's Jason Tatum when he had COVID, and then Kemba hasn't been right, and then Marcus Smart missed a bunch of time, and then Evan Fournier when he got to the team, he had COVID. There's so many different moving parts. I just never feel like they were able to get back onto a good ground as far as like them getting their cohesion together, and this just being another blow. They can't beat Miami, as we can see. They lost on Sunday. I didn't look at the score, but they are currently losing to Miami again, and they're in the 7th seed. And we know, like, if they're in the 7th seed in the playoff tournament, 1 or 2 games and it's a wrap and you don't even make the playoffs. That's just crazy. But I hope they can pull it together, but I don't see it at this point. I just feel like even if they do get in it, it won't be too much that they're going to do. I just think that the other top tier teams in the East are going to just be too much for them. So it sucks because, like I said, he's a big part of their team, but it's been tough for them, and it's only going to be even tougher now without him.
Raymond.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge blow, man, especially at this juncture. You know, when you see a team lose a guy like that, you know, the other team's eyes get kind of wide and they get a little more excited to play you now, especially knowing that they don't have to worry about that problem. You know, they're going to load up on Tatum, you know, and they're going to make his life extremely difficult. So yeah, man, it just sucks, man. You know, like Octavia pointed out, everything they've been through this season. You know, and it sucks for Jaylen personally that he won't be able to go out there and compete with his teammates. You know, so yeah, it's gonna be a tall mountain to climb for them, man. You know, like as it stands, I think they're gonna have Charlotte in the first playing game, and they're not easy to deal with, even if they had Jaylen Brown. So, you know, now that's, you know, might be too much for them to overcome at this point.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. You know, just to sum it up, it's definitely a hell of a blow. When I say guys gonna have to step up, I mean we're gonna need UConn Kemba to show up. We're gonna need Jason Tatum to be on his game. Marcus Smart about to take it back to Oklahoma State. You know, when you was dropping 20, looking like Russell in college, everybody gonna have to step up, man, because that's the only way they gonna upset people, man, and you know, try to make a run. But right now, with them being in the play-in spot, you know, Charlotte might be going to give them everything they can handle without Brown. That's one. So if they lose that, then you're going to deal with the winner of the Pacers and the Wizards, and both those teams are capable of beating them without Jaylen Brown. So like Octavia said, they may not even make the playoffs when it's all said and done. You know, it sucks, man. You know what I mean? But they've been up and down all year. You can't really just say, you know, the Jaylen Brown injury is an excuse. They haven't been up to par all season. It's just if they just had one of those weird seasons, because you expected them to be better, you know, especially with Kemba, you know, being there for all season and all that. So, oh man, yeah, it's a blow, man. It's gonna be tough, man, because I definitely like that core. You know, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You know, been covering those youngers since they were in high school, man. So, you know, to see the dynamic do what they become. You know, especially, man, it's just, you know, it's tough, man. Like I said, the league is real, man. And that's why when you have an opportunity to seize the moment, to seize it, to possibly win, you got to take advantage of that because you may not get another chance, man. So, you know, it is what it is. Closing things out, you know, some notable WNBA news. The Los Angeles Sparks acquired Chicago Sky's Gabby Williams for 2 players. Former UConn player Gabby Williams, the number 4 pick in the 2018 WNBA draft by Chicago, was traded to Los Angeles by the Sky on Sunday. Williams, at 5'11" forward, was put on a suspended list for the season by Chicago last week because she will be with the French national team preparing for the Olympics. The Sparks said Sunday that Williams will remain on a suspended list for this season. Los Angeles sent rookie guard Stephanie Watts, the number 10 pick out of North Carolina in last month's WNBA draft, and the rights to German guard Leonie Bibic, the number 22 pick in the 2020 draft, to Chicago. At just 24 years old, Gabby is a versatile player who still has the potential to make a major impact in this league. Sparks coach general manager Derek Fisher said, "She fits into what we're building in Los Angeles, and we look forward to the future with her in the Sparks uniform." The relationship between Williams and Chicago seemed to deteriorate regarding her plans to not play for the Sky before the Olympics. Williams averaged 7.7 points and 4 rebounds last season for Chicago. She was part of the 2 NCAA title teams at UConn. Just what are your thoughts on the trade and, you know, how that will help the Sparks in the future? And do you think the trade going the other way with the number 10 pick going to the Chicago, how would that boost them? Start with you, Raymond.
Yeah, the situation just seemed kind of weird from jump, when I first heard about it. The James Wade came out and said that she requested a trade last month, actually. So, I'm not sure why they just didn't trade her then. But I mean, in regards to the personnel moves, I think it helps both teams. The Sparks, they're kind of trying to reinvent themselves, really. They lost Candace Parker. Chelsea Gray is no longer there. So they're just kind of moving into a new phase in their franchise's history. So, and getting a player like Williams is definitely going to help. Of course, she won't be here this year, but next season when she physically joins the team, it'll definitely be a good thing for them. And for Chicago, they get a young point guard who could, possibly succeed their current point guard, who is one of the best to ever play, and it's no better person to learn from for Stephanie Watts than Vandersloot. So, man, I feel like everybody kind of got what they wanted. Gabby Williams, if that's she wanted to get to another franchise, then she was able to move on. And it sucks that Stephanie Watts, she wasn't even able to get settled in LA before she was moved. But I think she was moving into a good situation. So yeah, man, hopefully things work out for the best for all involved.
Wilson.
Yeah, I'm with Ray. I saw what happened, in terms of what Coach Wade said after the trade was made, that Gabby requested a trade a month prior. I feel like part of it's just part of the business with the W, especially with this year, with people in their overseas commitments. And, it's kind of like on a team-by-team basis how they go about handling it. And that's part of what makes, that league's already tough as is from, players just staying in the league. That part of it, when you folks have overseas, national team commitments and things like that, makes it even tougher. But I'm kind of with Ray. If that was the case, you could have just made the trade sooner. But again, we don't know everything that happened. But yeah, I do feel like it's something where it'll be good for Gabby. If it is, that's what she wanted, was to be out. Los Angeles should be a place where she should be able to carve out some time on the wing there. As Ray mentioned, as they try to kind of take steps towards whatever their next evolution is going to be. And then for Chicago, they're a deep team already. They have a bunch of wings already. And yeah, they're going to keep, there's nothing wrong with acquiring a young guard. Get them some, on-hand tutelage if you're trying to find whatever two players you want to succeed those two very special vets you have. So, I'm not knocking it, but I guess that's the only thing for me was just, why don't you just, trade her before now? But again, I'm sure maybe we'll find out soon.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I think that if she requested it earlier, it is kind of weird that it's just now happening, but neither here nor there. But I think, like Ray said, it's going to work out in the long run for both teams and both organizations. Sucks, like he said, sucks that Stephanie Watts wasn't able to get settled in LA before she got moved. But I definitely do agree that I think she moved into a better situation. She has a lot of people that she can learn from in that organization. So I think all in all, it's a business move. It happens. I definitely agree with you, Wilson, about the different commitments that different organizations take into consideration for these players, because as we all know, yes, the WNBA is a great league and everything, but a lot of these women make their money overseas and they have a lot of other commitments that they do have to stick to. So it could have been something just based off of what the organization was willing to and was not willing to do. But I think in the end, it'll work out for both teams.
Just to close it, I just think, she was expendable. I think she requested a trade behind the scenes when Parker came. She knew that would cut into her minutes and her, her role on the team. And I think James probably tried to talk her down a little bit. You know what I mean? Just, give her some time, see how it work out or whatnot. But, I think she still kind of had her moment, where she, look, I'm going to just stay over here and play. You know what I mean? I think that just pissed them off. So, And, they in championship mode, man. It happens, man. They in championship mode. They not trying to wait. They trying to have everything ready to go so we can focus on our team. We know who we got, and we can try to make a run for it. Because, like I just said, especially in the WNBA, having a window to win is fleeting. You know what I mean? Especially with their roster turnover because of the cap and stuff. You could be on top this year, and next year you might be fighting for the number 1 pick. You know what I mean? It can happen, man. So, and he understands that. You know what I mean? So he just like, look, let's just get her somewhere, but also be smart about it and get somebody in return where they could potentially be, a huge impact type of player. And that's what Stephanie Watts is. You know what I mean? She has the potential to be that. So they have a lot of forwards. If you look at their roster, they're deep as hell. They have a lot of forwards and centers and versatile pieces, which is what Gabby Williams' specialty is, being versatile. They had that on, galore. So in a sense, they didn't need it. So look, do your little national team. We're gonna move you somewhere, but whenever you're ready to come back, they can deal with you. We're gonna keep them moving. But meanwhile, on the other hand, LA, like you said, they're rebuilding. They trying to figure out what direction they're gonna go, what their identity is gonna be. So she's another veteran piece that's versatile that Derek Fisher can plug in here, plug in over there until they figure things out. So. I think it's a win-win for both teams.
Definitely. As always, we're going to close things down. I want to thank you all for tuning in this evening. For the rest of the week, don't forget to follow us on social, The Focus TV, whether it be on Twitter or on Instagram. We got a Wizards Outlook and Mystics Outlook happening this week. And then, so much is going to happen in sports between today and the next time we see you guys for The Focus. And we look forward to talking with you all about it then. Y'all have a great night.